Oh my gosh, second graders, this is it. We are going to finish Flora and Ulysses today. We just have a few more pages. Now, as you may recall from the last chapter, the cat and Flora's father and Flora's mother got into a huge row, a huge fight. What was that cat's name again? Mr. Snugglepuss. Mr. Meow Meow. Mr. Klaus. That's it, Mr. Klaus. And Flora's mother was so worried about her baby being okay. Flora thought it was the lamp, but it wasn't the lamp her mother was talking about. It was her. Let's find out what happens next. Chapter 67, The Horsehair Sofa. Flora's mother was sitting on the horsehair sofa. Flora's father was sitting next to her. He was holding her hand, or she was holding his. In any case, her mother and her father were holding on to each other. Dr. Meacham was putting alcohol on Flora's mother's bites and scratches. "Oh, ouch, oh," said Flora's mother. "Come," said Dr. Meacham to Flora. She patted the horsehair sofa. "Sit down, here, beside your mother." Flora sat down on the couch and immediately started to slide off it. Was there a trick to sitting on the horsehair sofa? Because she certainly hadn't mastered it. And then William Spiver sat down beside her so that she was wedged in between her mother and him. Flora stopped sliding. "And I went up to your room," said Flora's mother. "I climbed the stairs to your room and you weren't there." "I was out looking for Ulysses," said Flora. "I thought you had kidnapped him." "It's true," confessed her mother. "I did." Ulysses, sitting on Flora's shoulder, nodded. His whiskers brushed her cheek. "I wanted to make things right somehow. I wanted to make things normal again," said Flora's mother. "Normalcy is an illusion, of course," said William Spiver. "There is no normal." "Oh, hush up, William," said Tootie. "And when I returned and you weren't there," said Flora's mother. She started to cry again. "I didn't care about normal. I just wanted you back. I needed to find you." "And here she is, Mrs. Buckman," said William Spiver in a very gentle voice. "Here I am," thought Flora, "and my mother loves me. Holy bagumba." And then she thought, "Oh no, I'm going to cry." And she did cry. Big fat tears rolled down her face and landed on the horsehair sofa and trembled there for a second before they rolled off. "You see?" said Dr. Meacham. She smiled at Flora. "I told you. This is how it is with this sofa." "Mrs. Buckman," said William Spiver, "what is that you are holding in your hand? What is that piece of paper?" "Oh, it's a poem," said Flora's mother, "by Ulysses. It's for Flora." "Well, look at this," said Tootie. They all turned and looked at Tootie. She was standing by the headless Mary Ann, who was plugged in and shining. "It still works. Isn't that something?" "Why don't you read the poem, Phyllis?" said Flora's father. "Oh, goody," said Tootie. "A poetry reading." "It's a squirrel poem," said Flora's mother, "but it's a good one." Ulysses puffed out his chest. "Words for Flora," her mother said. "That's the title." "I like that title," said William Spiver. He took hold of Flora's hand. He squeezed it. "Don't squeeze my hand," said Flora. But she held on tightly to William Spiver, and she listened as her mother read the poem that Ulysses had written. Chapter 68, The End, or Something. This poem was just the beginning, of course. There would be more. He needed to write about how they always answered the door in Blundermeeken. He needed to write about the saving of Phyllis Buckman from Mr. Klaus. He needed to write about Mary Ann's broken, still shining self. and little fishes on crackers. He needed to write a poem about little fishes on crackers. Also, he wanted to write about things that hadn't happened yet. For instance, he wanted to write a poem where William Spiver's mother called and asked for him to come home, and a poem where the other Dr. Meacham came and visited this Dr. Meacham and sat beside her and hummed to her and watched her sleep. And maybe there would be a poem about a horsehair sofa and one about a vacuum cleaner. He would write and write. He would make wonderful things happen. Some of it would be true. All of it would be true. Well, most of it would be true. Ulysses looked out the window and saw the sun glowing on the horizon. Soon it would be time to eat. A wonderful thought occurred to the squirrel. Maybe there would be donuts, giant donuts, for breakfast. And there's an epilogue, which means events or ideas that happen after the end of the story. Maybe you've seen an epilogue in a movie. Kind of like a post-credits scene, a little bit. So this is a poem. This is the poem that Ulysses wrote for Flora. It's called Words for Flora. Nothing would be easier without you, because you are everything. All of it. Sprinkles, corks, giant donuts, eggs sunny side up. You are the ever-expanding universe to me. And there's a donut. And my dears, that's the end of Flora and Ulysses. I hope you enjoyed it. I know sometimes it's hard to watch someone read aloud a book on a video when there's no pictures, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And it'll always be on my YouTube channel if you missed some parts or if you want to go back and listen to it again. So, have a great day, have a great week, and I'll see you next time.